You do this with AI every day without asking who's listening. You ask ChatGPT to remind you about that meeting. You ask Claude to help draft a reply to your boss. You ask Gemini to look up that restaurant your friend mentioned last week. 3 different services, 3 separate conversations. None of them know what you said to the other. None of them know who you actually are. And here's the part that should bother you. Every question you've ever asked, every personal detail you've shared, it's all sitting on someone else's server. You don't hold the key. They do. You don't have an AI assistant. You have 3 AI landlords, and you're paying rent with your data. Now imagine flipping this completely. An AI assistant that lives on your machine, not in the cloud. One that answers you on WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, Discord, iMessage, wherever you already are. One that remembers everything across all of them. And one where you choose the brain, GPT, Claude, Gemini, or a fully private local model, and swap it whenever you want. And it's completely free, open source, and yours forever. More than 350,000 developers on GitHub have already started. It's called OpenClaw. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, so you understand what makes it fundamentally different from every AI assistant you've used before. We'll start with the architecture, the single design decision that makes everything else possible. Next, how you give it real abilities, and how it connects to thousands of tools instantly. Then, how it goes beyond typing, with voice and a live visual canvas. And finally, how it follows you across every device you own. Let's get into it. The gateway, the one design decision that makes everything work. Every major AI assistant today works like this. Your message travels up to their cloud, gets processed on their servers, and comes back. They decide which model you use. They decide what gets stored. They control the experience. You're a tenant on their platform. OpenClaw flips this completely. Instead of sending your data far away, you run the server yourself, right here, on your machine. The heart of OpenClaw is the gateway, a lightweight process running on your machine. Don't let lightweight fool you. Inside this one process, session management, message routing, AI model connections, tool orchestration, scheduled tasks, real-time streaming, all coordinated from one place, and it binds to local host by default. Your conversations never leave your device. Now let's see how everything is coordinated through the gateway. First, the messaging channels: WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, Discord, and many more. Messages from any of these flow down into the gateway. The gateway routes each message to the Pi agent. Think of the Pi agent as the brain coordinator. It doesn't just forward your message to the LLM. It manages your conversation context, retains memory across sessions, decides when to call tools, maintains your assistant's personality, and handles multi-step reasoning. It's the layer that turns a raw language model into an actual assistant. The agent calls your chosen LLM, processes the request, uses tools if needed, and sends the response back through the gateway to whichever channel it came from. And next, your personal access points: a terminal, a web chat interface, and companion apps on every device. Everything communicates over WebSocket, fast, real-time, always connected. Every conversation gets its own dedicated session inside the gateway. A private chat on WhatsApp, one session. A thread in Discord, another. Each one holds the full conversation history, model choice, and your preferences, and they're persistent. Even if you restart the gateway, every conversation is still there, exactly where you left it. Ask your assistant something through Telegram from your phone. Later, switch to WhatsApp on your laptop, and the assistant already knows who you are and what you've talked about before. Same context, no sync needed, because the gateway is the single source of truth, right on your machine. Because you own the gateway, you get to pick which AI model powers it: GPT for one conversation, Claude for another. A local model when you want full privacy, switch whenever you want. And if a model provider hits an error or goes down, the gateway automatically switches to your backup. You won't even notice. With traditional AI assistants, you're locked into their model, their way. With OpenClaw Gateway, the model is just a plug. Pull one out, put another in. You're always in control. Skills and tools, teaching your assistant to actually do things. Here's the thing about most AI assistants. They're incredibly smart, but they're trapped behind a glass wall. Ask ChatGPT to check your calendar. It can't. Ask Claude to manage your files. It can't. They can see the world, but they can't touch it. OpenClaw breaks the glass. It doesn't just talk, it acts. It manages files, runs code, browses the web, sends messages, schedules tasks, and you decide exactly what it's allowed to do. So how does it actually gain these abilities? Through something called skills, which are modular packages you can mix and match. Skills come in 3 tiers, depending on where they come from. The first tier, built-in skills that ship out of the box, browser control, file management, system tools, ready from day one. The second tier pulls from Claw Hub, a community registry where developers publish skills you can install with a single command. Smart home control, expense tracking, code review. Just grab what you need. And the third tier, that's entirely yours. Write a simple markdown file, drop it in the folder, and your assistant picks it up instantly. Custom skills, perfectly tailored to how you work. Inside each skill, there's a set of instructions that tells OpenClaw what tools are available and how to use them. Let's see some of them in action. Browser control gives the assistant its own Chrome instance. Navigate, snapshot, fill forms, click buttons, extract information. A tireless research assistant. The shell tool runs commands directly on your machine. Process files, run scripts, manage everything. Cron jobs let you schedule recurring tasks. Every morning at 8 a.m., check these websites and send me a summary on WhatsApp. The assistant works while you sleep. This is what turns a chatbot into a genuine personal assistant, one that works for you even when you're not talking to it. But there are thousands of tools out there. How does OpenClaw connect to all of them? This is where MCP comes in, the Model Context Protocol, a universal standard for how agents and tools communicate. Without MCP, every agent needs a custom integration for every tool. That's M times N connections. With MCP, there's one universal protocol in the middle. Each tool publishes one MCP server. Each agent implements one MCP client, and they all just work together. If you want to dive deeper into how MCP works, please check out my AI Agents video. OpenClaw is a native MCP client, thousands of community-built servers, databases, cloud services, dev tools, APIs, all work with your assistant instantly. No custom code, no configuration headaches. Your assistant taps into an ever-growing ecosystem, not limited to what one company decides to build. Voice and Canvas. Talk to OpenClaw with your voice and let it show you visually. You're driving, you're cooking, you're walking, your hands are busy, but you still need your assistant. Say the wake word, "Hey Clawbot," and the assistant listens, thinks, and responds out loud. Keep talking, and it keeps listening. A continuous back and forth, like a phone call with your AI. Under the hood, your voice goes through speech to text, gets processed by the LLM, and comes back as natural-sounding speech via 11 Labs, with a system fallback so it always works. But sometimes words alone aren't enough. You need to actually see the result. Say, "Show me my expenses this month." And the OpenClaw doesn't just describe the answer. It builds a chart to show you. This is called Canvas, a live visual workspace that OpenClaw controls. With it, charts, diagrams, interactive UIs, code previews, all pushed to your screen in real time. This is powered by A2UI, Agent to UI. OpenClaw generates and updates visuals dynamically, create HTML, takes snapshots, and runs JavaScript in the canvas instantly as needed. Instead of describing what something looks like, it just shows you. All devices, one brain, your phone, your laptop, your server, same assistant. ChatGPT lives on OpenAI's server. Claude lives on Anthropic's server. Your conversations exist in their world, on their terms. OpenClaw lives in your world. It runs wherever you want, your MacBook, a Linux server, a cloud VM, and wherever the gateway runs, your assistant follows you. These aren't separate apps with separate AI backends. They're lightweight nodes, thin clients that connect to the same gateway. Start a conversation on your phone, continue it on your laptop. The context is already there because the gateway is the single source of truth. One assistant, every device, zero sync needed. Instead of running on your local machine, you can also run the gateway on a Linux VM and connect all your devices remotely through Tailscale, a private encrypted tunnel, so your traffic never touches the public internet. The server runs 24/7. Your devices come and go, but the assistant is always on, always reachable. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Today, most people still use AI assistants owned by large companies. Your data feeds their models. Your private conversations live on their servers. The moment they change pricing, policies, or priorities, there's nothing you can do about it. OpenClaw is a different path. Your machine, your platforms, your context, your tools, your model, your data. No one can take it away. It's not just a cool open source project. With support for over 20 messaging channels, a gateway you fully own, skills and MCP for unlimited tools, and companion apps on every device. It's a statement about how personal AI should work. Local, private, and truly yours. That's it for today. Like and subscribe so you don't miss more AI deep dives. See you in the next one.